Hi everyone, I'm Nancy.
And I'm Stephanie.
And if you enjoy our show, please like and subscribe.
And ring that bell.
Hit the bell.
Nancy's copying me today.
I'm not copying you.
She got me a beanie on her trip to the Great White North. And then she goes, I'm going to wear a beanie too.
Well, I just
because I just didn't want to do my hair. And I know it's just a copy.
No, it's not a copy.
It's a total copy.
It's not, because I've had this beanie longer.
You secretly want to look like me.
And I also, in the last show, I said she's going to wear this beanie the entire winter. So
no, I'm not. First of all, it was 37 degrees this morning in Portland, Oregon.
It was really cold.
They're all on my porch, my deck, everything, ice crystals.
I noticed in the last videos, oh, by the way, we're on Instagram and we're also on Twitter X. So you can find us there. Welcome to the show. This one's going to be a doozy. When I talked to my mom this morning, I said, Mom, this one's going to be a doozy.
Did you say that?
I said,
did you use doozy?
I said doozy. And I still look tired. I noticed in the last 2 episodes I've done since I came back from my trip, I went on a very relaxing trip.
It looks like
and I still look, so I'm not tired. I'm in still that
oh, I need a vacation from my vacation.
Yeah, getting back. So
I'm
not tired. I'm just a little more getting back into the swing of things. And it's almost like Meghan Markle was about to be crowned queen of the narcissist
victim
everything, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jada Pinkett Smith comes and says, "Hold my beer, Meghan."
Oh my God!
And
it did come out of nowhere.
Holy cow! Gives us this. I don't know what I can say that's appropriate.
So much better than spare.
Wackadoodle. I'm going to do this series in 2.
Okay.
Because it's just, first of all, there's just too much that Jada gives us. She gave us something this morning on her Instagram page that was completely whoop-whoop. So what I thought we would establish in this first video is how she originally humiliated Will during Red Table Talk. She was never a nice person. We talked about that in our live. We gave receipts. We showed you how we were kind of there to
we gave our
experiences. You know, we weren't close family friends, but we were around.
It takes that much coaxing to the public. I think she's doing it on her own. She's like, I got this, guys.
Yeah.
No!
Cherie was Will's first wife, and from what I've heard, she's just a delight.
Yeah, I've met her a handful of times, and she's just really a nice, genuine person.
The story was she and him had this bond where they were never getting divorced. They had a son. He wanted to be there for his son, and that was just that. And then he meets Jada, and we don't really know the storyline. If you hear Jada talking about it, Will divorced Cherie and then called her up right away and said, I'm single now. I mean,
I don't think that's how it went.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it went. But Cherie served him with the divorce papers. He, to this day, said it was the worst mistake of his life. He wouldn't have done it. He just really feels bad about it. And then he goes on to marry Jada because she gets pregnant. And they're at some Epstein Island.
It does look like it. It looks like the pyramid thing.
I know,
but it's not.
Yeah. And what we always heard, it was in Aspen, right? Yeah. He really wanted to get married. This was something hardcore that she wanted to do, and he wasn't running to do it. But as you can see, her story changes throughout the years, and of course his story has to go along with hers.
And also the mention that he didn't want the child in the first place. Yes. He wanted her to jump up and down and try to get the baby to
not happen,
disappear. Yeah. So the story does keep. There's Trey, little Trey.
Just it wasn't a happy day according to Will's camp, but I can't say according to Jada's camp because I wasn't around Jada. First, they have on Red Table Talk, I think it's the whole family. So we're going to play that for you right now.
upset that I had to have a wedding. I
Yeah.
was so pissed. I went crying down the freaking aisle.
Oh, getting married.
Getting
Yeah.
Cried the whole way.
I think that's the worst I've ever felt in our marriage.
Wow.
I was failing miserably. But on the outside, I was winning. Like, built a house and called the house Her Lake. I remember saying, like, I built this house for you. I called it Her Lake. And she said, you built this house for you.
Yeah. There was no chemistry between us.
I just felt like he was off track a little bit. There were different stages in my marriage where Will and I decided we were not together.
I really didn't want to get married, but
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
I just knew, I was like, I never wanted to be married.
By the time we got to 2016, we were just exhausted with trying.
That in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives. It was
She didn't want to get married, and they've been living separate lives. They've been living separate lives way longer before 2016.
I remember when he built that house in Westlake. I remember, and it was still in construction, and it was beautiful, and I remember. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone not wanting that house.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah. So now we're going to go to the saddest part of this thing. And I haven't seen this in years. I don't think I've ever seen this full thing. And I don't
didn't
think I
believe
ever
it.
could, because it hurt me to see Will in so much pain and for her to just cuckold him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she's doing. She's
What is
cucking him. It's called cuckold.
Cuckold?
The term is when you cuck a guy, it means like,
Never heard of this.
there's like a whole genre of it.
Cuckold?
Like it's a kink.
Like love bomb?
No, like when women have sexual relations with other men in front of their husbands, and the
Oh.
husbands sit there and watch.
That's
That's
disgusting.
cucking.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, and there's a whole like genre of it, but it's emasculating.
So why are you? So you're
So when
saying-
this happened, there was everybody on the internet was like, she's cucking Will.
Yeah,
When the red table
didn't know
talk
that.
thing. Yeah, that's what it meant.
that's pretty gross.
Yeah, so here she's talking about it, and we're gonna stop.
And this
it
is Jaden. This is her son's friend, by the way.
yes.
This is Jaden's friend.
August Alsina.
It's all love.
Recently, Alsina revealed to the world that he was involved in a relationship with Jada while she was still married. And even though statements were released denying the affair, Pinkett Smith is now reluctantly confirming that the relationship did indeed exist.
It's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's
Nobody's business,
yeah. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
When I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
I paused that on purpose
That is
because
so sad.
his face, it hurts me.
Yeah.
It hurts me.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there,
Look at his face. Isn't that just
Well,
the
and
saddest-
you know he because he is an abused person. He said after this, he goes, "Oh no, I was just tired because we
Yeah.
were getting ready to get on a red
Yeah,
eye."
no,
Do you
that's-
remember that?
yeah, but
So he
that's
was
not-
covering up the black eyes.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Yeah.
you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
relationship. Absolutely.
That's not being tired.
Yeah.
The only person that can give permission in that particular
Yeah.
circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But
See, like right there, like that's emasculating for her to go. The only one that can give permission is me.
Yeah. I don't
Like-
care about your feelings.
Yeah, your feelings don't
I'm
matter.
a narcissist, man.
Yeah.
August was probably trying to communicate because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker. Wanted
she's
to
the-
feel good.
She's defending her boyfriend.
Oh man, it gets better.
She's trying to make him feel better by making her husband feel worse.
In our listen how it gets better.
It had been so long since I felt good. And it
Oh, Stephanie, doesn't that make you want to go and just, yeah, exactly. See, I had to put this together last
No,
night.
I know. I'm just saying I've seen it before, but I haven't really. Well, yeah, that's sad, man. If anyone out there who thinks that Jada is not an abuser, allegedly,
Yeah, I don't even want to say allegedly anymore. This woman's a hardcore abuser,
Yeah.
and don't worry, we've
This
got
is
a
like-
two episodes.
This,
to
I will.
prove it.
You should have done 3 with Amber. You should have did Jada.
No.
You should have did Meghan Markle and Amber.
This woman
Heard.
takes the cake because you got to see in our second episode, you got to see her backtracking and how she fell on her sword for Will, but we'll get to that.
was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times.
It's interesting August has red hair and Harry has red hair because August is just completely like he would have died for her.
Oh, yeah.
She had him under that love bomb spell.
Times, and it, not involving romanticism. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply loved and have a ton of love for her. I devoted myself to it. I gave my full self to it. So much so to the point that I can die right now and be okay with knowing that I truly gave myself to somebody.
Right, you did the right thing.
And I really loved a person. I experienced that.
That is obsession. That's fatal attraction.
That's it's manipulation. It's
sick.
Bunny boiler cat.
So, I mean, I remember when
And
it
it's
all
not funny.
came
I
out.
think we're nervous laughing.
I
'Cause we
know,
can
'cause I
laugh
do.
with nervous
yeah,
laugh.
this is not funny at all.
This is abuse.
It's complete abuse because she flaunted it all over the place. And Will,
Did they go on trips together?
Yeah, dude. They went to concerts. She's all like sitting there like, shit. I mean, I feel bad for Will.
Until he realizes that he's being abused, then nothing and
Yeah.
no one's gonna be able to stop her.
I just don't like that smugness of that. Like I am just like everything's fine now.
I won,
bitches.
Look at how I made him submissive towards me.
Now this, okay. We're gonna bring up the similarities of Jada and Meghan and how, in my opinion, they used unaliving themselves for attention. Somebody asked me the other day because I said I suffer from mental health and I don't really make it like a big deal, maybe because we're from Portland, Oregon, and then we moved to LA where land of everyone had something wrong with them. I suffer from severe social anxiety. I was the one in our 20s who I dreaded going out. I dreaded going to concerts. I dreaded going at like this time. If like now I love it because I'm older. So it's like me going to a Halloween party. That would be ridiculous. But like 20 years ago, I would like have sweats because I knew I had to go out.
It was my party.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to walk those 2 feet. But it was debilitating. Stephanie would always make fun of me about going to the grocery store. What would you call me?
Nancy Jack and the Beanstalk Sidley.
Yeah, or
because she would go. I'd give her a list, and she'd come home with magic beans.
Magic beans.
She would come home, and I go, what happened? And she goes, I got distracted.
No, but
that
I
was
was just
her
like
blood pressure.
My
was
blood
up.
pressure would go up,
Yeah.
and I just
And
lot
she
of
forgot.
people, and I would just forget.
Like, dude,
I'd get
I
flustered.
need some eggs.
Yeah,
and she'd come home with a hammer.
Yeah, there's like unaliving or doing anything like that. Of course, I personally have had issues with that in the past. When I lost my my first dog, Levi, he was an English bulldog, and I loved him more than anything. I had experienced pet loss before with our family dog, Monique, but I had never experienced pet loss of just a dog that was mine. And when Levi died, I lost that thing at night that snored in bed with me. And it was just devastating. And yeah, thoughts go through your mind and you talk about it. And I just feel like the way, what I'm trying to get at is the video I'm about to play, the way Jada and Meghan are acting is that they are breaking the stigma of all these things. These stigmas have been broken for a while, and there
Mental health
as
issues.
far as mental health, people talk about mental. Has anyone ever seen Real Housewives? Has anybody ever seen the Kardashians? No, I'm just saying they talk about what they're on. They talk about the medications they're on. They talk about the psychiatrists they go to. I talk about therapists. This is my therapy. I talk about dating a dark comedian. It's cathartic. And
we're about to go into couples counseling.
Yes. And Meghan and Jada are treating this like they are breaking the glass ceiling. And it's really
they're doing it for attention.
It's offensive to the people that actually have been dealing with this for years and going, well, what are you talking about?
Crying wolf.
They're like, well, we're just doing this for the people that just can't. What? We've been doing it for years. We don't need you guys. We've been dealing with it for years. I agree there are some people that do need that extra kick in the pants. But guess what? It's not going to be Meghan Markle and Jada Pinkett Smith who gives it to them, because you guys are phony. You're narcissists. And nobody believes your story.
You're abusers.
You're abusers. And nobody's believing that you had these thoughts or feelings, allegedly.
Because you go from one thing, if it doesn't stick, then you go to another problem. If that doesn't stick, you go. The problem. They're in quicksand right now.
Yeah,
nothing's sticking.
Yeah, it's really annoying. So here we go. Here's the first one.
It was just a really dark time. I want out, and I knew I had to make it look like an accident because I did not want my kids to think that I had committed suicide.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore, and that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought.
When I went through one of the darkest periods, my 40th year, when I was really suicidal.
And so I went to human resources and I said,
that's always the funniest line I've ever heard in my life.
It's not laughing.
No, people like that. People like you. I know you guys like that because you commented on it. So I went to human resources.
You just go to HR, like the office. Go to Toby.
Yeah, just go to Toby.
But I just really, I need help. They said, my heart goes out to you because I see how bad it is, but there's nothing we can do to protect you because you're not a paid employee of the institution.
I really had so much shame because I felt like everybody else. I was just like, what is wrong with you?
We were smiling and doing our job, she said, but when the lights went down, I was weeping.
Inherently, something was wrong with me.
I can't be left alone.
Because you were afraid of what you might do to yourself?
I give it to Jada, though. I give it to Jada because at least she could pretend cry.
Yeah,
Meghan can't even get a cry.
Meghan could get one on the left. The left. That's it.
That's why I told you my story. And if anyone ever has questions, I don't struggle with it as bad or intense as I used to because I have tools and I know what it is now. Panic attacks, the first time.
You think you're going to die.
You think, it is not fun, but oh my gosh.
I was writing my will to Nancy. I was like, I'm never going to come back. I'm going to fall asleep and die.
It's awful, but you have tools and you learn how to deal with it, and it's gotten way better.
And Xanax helps.
And Xanax. What Meghan and Jada are doing is they're taking a marginalized group of people and they're getting attention and they're using them, they're exploiting them, and that's what they're doing. We are not making fun of two women who are thinking of offing themselves. That is not the case here right now. Okay. We are exposing these women.
There's way too much similarity within the narcissistic brain that goes into this. They're just so textbook.
Let's go to the other one where they talk about why they're doing what they're doing.
One of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it was because I think there's so many people who are in that place and they feel so hopeless and you feel so alone and you feel there's no way out.
I share this because there's so many people who are afraid to voice that they need help. And I know personally how hard it is to not just voice it, but when you voice it, to be told no.
And at that time, there wasn't so much talk about mental health as it is now.
Jada, you're 50. What does that time mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? That time?
Mental health has been a lot. I mean, as I guess maybe it's because we're in the States. Oh wait, Jada's in the States too.
Maybe it's because we're on the West Coast.
Oh wait, Jada's on the West Coast too. What's her excuse? Is she living under a rock or something?
I don't know.
I mean, you can have
maybe because she doesn't have the means to do it. Oh wait, Jada's got the means.
I was once so depressed when my dog was dying of heart failure, and I had to watch him slowly go. I was so depressed. I had a therapist come to my house. Now, you think someone like Jada can't have a therapist come? You think that's just me? I'm the special one?
Yeah.
No, that's not the way it works, Jada.
Yeah. She's like, buy my book and
buy my book and you'll realize that, I'll show you the light.
I'll show you the light.
You'll all be worthy.
Yeah.
Worthy. Here we go.
Tell other people in the family I need to get help for her. We need help for her.
That's just not a conversation that would be had.
I mean, even, it takes me back to that emotional place, just that dark place.
I went to a very dark place as well.
So I just wanted out because I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why this beautiful life I had wasn't satisfying.
Look, I was really ashamed to say it at the time and ashamed to have to admit it to Harry, especially.
So I was driving like through Mulholland and looking for cliffs to drive over,
But I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it. And I just didn't want to be alive anymore.
You can definitely see the similarities. That's kind of like
it's the patterns.
It's sort of what I wanted to get my point across on this video was she's definitely a narcissist, an abuser. The way she treated Will, she was picking at Will. She was cucking him during Red Table Talk. He did not want to be on Red Table Talk, but
I have a prediction.
Can you say cuck on
That's what I'm saying,
Twitter?
can you?
I think you can.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll find out.
But what I was going to say, I would not be surprised if Meghan Markle was on Red Table Talk.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Like soon.
Please, God.
Like soon. And it's going to be like Jada's like, this is your safe space. You can tell your story here. I know what's going on. I abused my husband too.
One thing that I
abused
find
together.
Yeah. One thing that I find also very interesting is the book sales aren't going very well for Jada.
I think she was number 3 on New York Times bestseller.
Well, they said that they haven't been doing that well, but she keeps promoting her book with Brittany because she thinks somehow that like people who read, because Brittany's book is doing like bleh. So she thinks by promoting the book with Brittany's and Kerry Washington in the back, she'll get like, this is all the same story. And you got it. Like she's piggybacking off Brittany, which I think is another Meghan Markle move. But the similarities between her and
Britney Spears was abused.
Yes.
Like in a prison for 20 years.
Britney Spears.
I mean, we are talking...
Jeez.
I can't even, I don't even want to say what they used to do to her.
Britney Spears, if she had a choice to have the therapy and go live on a farm when she was 20, she would have done it.
Her parents used to give her alcohol to calm her down and then throw her into rehab.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
The book's great. Go read that book. I'm shocked you didn't buy that at the airport.
Sorry.
Instead of the stupid beanie.
Anyways, that's our first half of this. Stay tuned for the second half where Jada completely backpedals everything she says. Everything she says. And her excuse is, well, after I wrote the book and then I stopped at the Oscars. So now I'm having to say all this stuff.
AKA, you guys hate me, and now I have to look better because the public hates me now.
As Will said, Black Twitter came at me.
Yeah.
And now I have to backpedal. And that's what she does.
Okay,
so stay tuned for that. Today's dog rescue is RSVP Inc., Animal Welfare and Rescue Group. These guys are great. So I will put their link in the description below and you can read all about them and maybe give them some love. If you can't give them any love, share their link and tell friends and family about it. So they're great. So we will see you very soon in part 2 of this mess. This is Jada Pinkett Smith mess.
Love you.
Love you guys. Bye.